Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, everybody. How are you? I am Gabriella, and welcome to our next episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. I have a real treat for you guys today. I get to bring to you an amazing lady who has such an incredible story to share with all of you. She helps people just like you get your story out to the rest of the world by helping you learn how to be a better public speaker and get your words out of your head to the pen and get you published. Welcome to the show, Mila Johansen. How are you?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I am super excited to have you with us today. I know you have tons of experience, so I know the audience is in for a real treat today. So, speaking of, and we've kind of already gotten into it, tell us about your expertise.
Well, I love to help people write their books, first of all, with all the nuts and bolts and tools, and then get it published on Amazon. And it's never been easier to publish your book than it is right now. It's like
Right.
amazing. And Amazon offers so many attributes, and we can go through some of those later if you want to. It's completely free to publish on Amazon. The biggest thing you're ever going to pay for is editing, because you don't want to put out any more bad books. Making covers can be almost free. There's just so many tricks and tools, and I have them all under my belt, ready to share with everyone.
And the cool thing about Amazon today is when you publish, like you said, it's completely free to do all of that. And then they become your publisher, and you essentially get a royalty portion of the book for them to do all the work for you.
Yes, it's fantastic.
That's incredible. So, Mila, before we started recording, you and I had a conversation, and your background is such an incredible story. I can't wait for our audience to hear all about how you got to where you are today.
Well, I always wanted to be a writer, and this will date me, but we went to see Mary Poppins, and I was probably 8 or 9, and we came home, and I believed in magic, and I had been reading a lot of books, and there wasn't much to do back then. We didn't really have a TV. We just got that box TV with 2 channels, by then. And I
Right.
went in my room, and I drew chalk drawings just like in Mary Poppins, and I closed my eyes, and I knew if I jumped in, I'd be transported to that beautiful land with merry-go-rounds and penguins and flowers, and I wasn't. So I thought, well, okay, I can't do it this way. And I never told anyone I did that. I never told my mother or anyone. I can be a writer, and I can create the magic that way, because I love Nancy Drew and the Bobbsey twins and all the Oz books. And so I started writing my first novel, and I wrote a page and a half, and I quit because I was 8. And then when I got older, my mother, she tricked me into becoming a writer. When I was 18, she said, Mila, I know you want to be a writer. So why don't you write 1 sentence a day for 30 days? I go, well, I can write 1 sentence a day for 30 days. And so what happened is you can't. So I started writing, and I'd write a page or a page and a half or 2 pages. And by the end of the month, I was a writer. And here's the funny thing, Gab. I teach writing now. I've taught writing for maybe 40 years. And I trick the people I teach into becoming a writer by telling them all you need to do is write 20 minutes a day. That's all you need to do. Toni Morrison, the fantastic novelist, she says that she only had 15 minutes a day when she first wrote her first novel because of work and kids. And the rest is history. She's a famous novelist. And I say even 5 minutes. So they sit down to write for 5 minutes. It's like that 1 sentence. They have to keep going. And so by the end of them doing what I say, they're writers.
So, Mila, I want to jump into your inspiration, because you mentioned the story from wanting to be a writer when you were 8 and your mom. But before we started, you actually were telling me something really cool about how you were inspired to go down your path. And I would love for you to share that with our audience.
Well, I was partially raised by my famous suffragette grandmother, Jessie Haber Butler, and you won't believe this, Gab. She was she grew up in a terrible, terrible, tragic childhood on the Colorado cattle ranch with incest and murder. And a brilliant teacher got her off to Smith College, and she never looked back. Her first job was amazing. She helped put together the Pulitzer School of Journalism, she and one other man, the Professor Cunliffe. And her second job was to help women get the first minimum wage ever for women, if you can believe this, from $4 a week to $8 a week, and to get the children out of the factories. Then she went down to DC to make the minimum wage for the entire country and became the first woman lobbyist there. And then she worked with Carrie Chapman Catt and Alice Paul. She was the lobbyist for the movement when we won the right to vote in 1920. And she spoke all over London with George Bernard Shaw, met her best friend, Lady Astor, who was also an American, but became the first woman to sit in Parliament, came back to DC and taught Eleanor Roosevelt public speaking. And Eleanor, this is the fun part, she would say to Jesse, bring all your students to the White House and we'll all practice together. Then she wrote a book, Time Speak Up. Now, this is where it gets really good for business people. She wrote a book, Time Speak Up, the first book ever written for women in public speaking. And it became her flag. And then she went all over the United States, and she spoke in front of 200 to 2,000 people at every stop and sold her books like hotcakes.
Hello, hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them. You've all heard and you know how powerful it is to send thank you cards, notes of appreciation, and gifts that build and maintain relationships. However, writing and sending generic impersonal greetings and gifts one by one just is so overwhelming and takes so much time. Not to mention, these days, who wants to deal with lines at the post office, running out of stamps, or having to print stamps yourself? And then there's the embarrassment of missing an important date altogether. Yikes. So what can you do? If you go to marketyourbiz.guru, you will be able to get help with your greetings and gifts that are printed, stamped, stuffed, and mailed automatically for you. Make sure that you tell them Gabriella sent you. Global Prosperity Academy, GPA, is a community of like-minded individuals that are heart-centered and mission-driven, focusing on high-level communication training, leadership development, and strategic community building. Take a look at the video in the link below and see how GPA is right for you. So that's actually a really great moment in time for me to ask you, because I always ask our guests, if you could go back and give one tip to that 8-year-old girl or somebody who's in college or pivoting in their career, what would that be?
Well, as far as writing, just start. I always say that, just start or just do it. And so I think the main thing is pen on page, fingers on keyboard, go. Don't wait, don't stop, and keep writing even when you don't feel inspired. And Barbara Kingsolver, the great novelist, she said, give yourself permission to write a really bad book and then work on it till it's a good book. So what she means is blather it down. And sometimes I'm writing it, oh, it's no good. And then I read it later, I'm going, wow, it's a lot better than I thought. And I think all of you will find that to be true for yourselves.
Absolutely. I don't know who said it, but it's basically done is better than perfect, right? Getting it down on paper and getting
Right.
something out will 100% always perform better than nothing at all. You told me before we started that you have a 1, 2, 3 tips for getting yourself published. I would love for you to share that.
The main thing is to start. When you're writing, just start, just blather it on the page. and fix it later. And that's what all the writers are saying now. They didn't always say that, but now everyone is on board with that. And then the next thing is to go on to Amazon. This is easy. You should do this today, Gab. Join KDP. KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing, which is the publishing arm on Amazon. And you can join it way before you would ever publish, even if you're not going to publish for a year. And then you can go on to KDP, and you have to give them a card to join because they're going to want to know where to pay you later and they won't let you. And so you go on and there's a thing called KDP University with tons of tutorials that you can take way before you publish your book. And there's one more big thing they have. They have templates. And you can type right into a 6x9 is industry standard. So you can type right into a 6x9 book if that's the style you want, the regular size, you know.
Yeah.
And then you can type your book into it. I have one hint about that though. It's justified left and right, and that makes it bounce around. So just justify it left, and then it's easier to type into. But pick the template with the placeholders, because then you go, oh, there's their title. Black it out, put your title in. There's their author. Black it out, put yours in. Then go to the next page and just keep putting your own information in, and you will have the beginnings of a book.
That's really cool. Oh my gosh. I would have never even thought of that. And I think that is probably one of the best success tips that I've ever heard. Is there any other tips that you would like to share with the audience?
Yes, and here's the deal. When you're self-publishing, it's all up to you. If you were going to go traditional, it'll be all up to them. They might work with you, but they want team players. They
Right.
all say that. So, but self-publishing, you can get published in a week or two, in a month or two. With traditional, it will take you 2 to 4 years. So that's a lot.
Woo!
Yeah, because for one thing, you have to go through an agent normally to get everything, done legally. And then after you do that, they're going to post it to other publishers. And it's once in a while it happens fast, but most of the time it can take a long time. But self-publishing you can do right away. The main thing is get it edited. But what you do is go home tonight, everybody, and open 10 books on your bookshelf and look and see what format you like. Like, where do you like the page? I like the pages in the bottom corner because then people can find them really fast. But now everybody's putting them in the middle. A little harder to find, but you may want to do that. And then you want to go, wow, what does their title page look like? Oh, and what does their chapter page look like? And you go and you see what your format, just on your own bookshelf or the library, and you want to go see what kind of format you would like your book to look like and then copy them. And another way to find covers is to go onto Amazon and look up the genre of the book you want to write. Like if it's a business book, go look up business books, look at the covers and get ideas for them. And then here, write this down. A really great place to get book covers super reasonable, already made for you, is called Book Cover Zone. And there you can buy a cover for $80 if you get the whole back and everything, which their backs aren't great. You can do $180 and you get everything. And then another way to do it is go to Fiverr with 2 R's. I'm sure you
Yes.
Fiverr. And those people there, look for people you like their covers, and then it could pick the more the more reasonable ones, like $40. Then you can try out 3 different people, find the one you work well with, and then they'll make it the exact size PDF for you to load onto Amazon.
Oh my gosh. I use Fiverr all the time. I love Fiverr. A
Me too.
little too much. I get lost because it's so easy to find a bunch of things, and it's almost like eye candy when you're on there looking at all the graphics and looking at all the cool things that people are doing and what the options are and stuff. So yeah, Fiverr for me can be a little bit of a rabbit hole.
Me too. And I'm getting my logos made that way. They can do a lot of things for you. I actually teach on Fiverr too. I get quite a few clients from Fiverr.
On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hello, I'm Dr. Anna Maria Belevin, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, LLC. We get people their jobs of their dreams We help them start a business or organization, and we even help them along their career pathway. It gives me great pleasure to bring to your attention and honor the hero of the moment, Onward and Upward. Onward and Upward does everything in its power to help those that are homeless, without jobs, without the use of their own computer, get back on their feet. They help people learn what it is that they need to do to get an online job, to get an on-site job. So Onward and Upward is giving a hand up to those that need it. Their website, onwardupwardinc.org. Get in touch with them if you need their help or if you would like to support them. Again, this is Dr. Anna Maria Bliven, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, wishing you a blessed day.
What I would like to ask you is how people can reach out and see how they can work with you, learn more about you, get a hold of some of your books. I'm sure that you have an author page on Amazon, and we'll get the link for your website, your social media, and your author page in the show notes and in the description below. Will you share with us how they can reach you?
The best way to get a hold of me is through my email if you're wanting to ask writing and publishing questions. And that is my name backwards, johansenmila@gmail.com. The other way to see my programs and shop around and see all the wonderful things I offer and get a freebie is my website, which is milajohansen.com. I have a Facebook page where you can come and get advice, and it's called Write Your Short Book Today.
Cool. So we'll get the links for those below. And you have a author page on Amazon as well, right?
Yes, I have 9 bestsellers on there, and I know how to make you a bestseller. And if you go look up Mila Johansen on Amazon Books, it's easier if you type in Amazon Books, and then you'll see all my books there. Then you can click on them.
So there's tons of stuff people can get when they go to your website, but I know you have a really cool offer. You were showing it earlier and you were showing me that people can download right now today and they can actually take action with. Will you share about your offer?
Sure, it's my book, 101 Surprising Tips to Promote Your Book or anything. I actually show how to go through Twitter. I went from 56 followers for 8 years to 8,000 in 9 months. And I found a secret that I found it on Twitter, actually. But I have those kind of things in the book, too. And this is the physical one, but you'll be getting a PDF of this book. And it's jam-packed with info for you.
Oh, I'm sure. So again, that link will also be below that they can click on and they can go and get their own copy of that. And they can reach out to you to find out how they can learn. They can get copies of the books that you have already published, 9 bestsellers, as well as other things that you teach and take courses directly from you. So you guys click those links, reach out to Mila. She is an incredible lady. She's got so much value to bring to you guys. You are absolutely going to love working with her, learning from her, gaining value from the things that she shares. Make sure you click the link to subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to select the reminder so that you know when our next episode is airing. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.